On October 2, shellings by Russian military killed 1 and wounded 8 people in Bakhmut, said Pavlo Kyrylenko, the head of the Donetsk Regional Military Administration. Since the all-out Russian invasion began, hostilities in Donetsk region killed 917 and wounded 2,312 people. It is impossible to determine the accurate number of victims in Mariupol and Volnovakha. On the night of October 3, Russian troops pummeled Chasiv Yar. One of the shells hit a dormitory. The rescuers are searching for people under the ruins, said Pavlo Kyrylenko, the head of the Donetsk Regional Military Administration. At least one person is still under the debris. The search and rescue operation is ongoing, he noted. Under Russian fire also came Avdiivka, Kramatorsk, Siversk, Serebryanka and villages in Ocheratinska Hromada. Early on October 2, the Russian forces attacked Zaporizhzhia and its suburbs. No victims are reported, said Alexander Starukh, the head of the Zaporizhzhia Regional Military Administration. The bombardment started at around 6 a.m. The Russians applied 4 S-300 missiles. According to Anatoly Kurtyev, secretary of the Zaporizhzhia City Council, the bombardments caused destruction in infrastructure in one of the city districts and its suburbs. Specifically, an industrial building was damaged by the strikes. The adjacent apartment blocks were also damaged. People were not injured. As a Suspilne correspondent reported, one of the missiles hit a summer cottage complex in the Zaporizhzhia suburb, where he was staying. Early on October 3, Russian forces carried out another strike on Zaporizhzhia and 2 villages in Zaporizhzhia district. They launched about 10 S-300 missiles, said Alexander Starukh, the head of the Zaporizhzhia Regional Military Administration. At present, one person is reported wounded. He has been hospitalized. The missile attack on the regional center damaged an infrastructure facility, 2 educational facilities, including a rehabilitation center for school children, 1 healthcare facility, and allegedly 7 apartment buildings, wherein 5 of them windows were blown out in stairwells and in 2 of them windows were broken out in apartments, said Anatoly Kurtyev, secretary of the city council. The attacks on nearby villages did not injure anyone. It is estimated that the missile struck beyond the settlements. As of October 2, the number of people killed in the missile attack on a humanitarian convoy in Zaporizhzhia reached 31, reported Alexander Starukh, the head of the Zaporizhzhia Regional Military Administration. 1 more woman has died in hospital. She was severely wounded. The number of victims is 31, including 30 civilians and 1 police officer who was helping people with the traffic arrangement. According to Mr. Starukh, the strike hit the commandant's office, where the organizational measures were arranged. 3 missiles hit the beginning, middle and end of the convoy. It was a targeted and a conscious assault. No one could expect it. It's another example that we are dealing with terrorists and murderers. As Suspilne reported before, the number of fatalities in the missile strike on the humanitarian convoy in Zaporizhzhia was 30 and 92 people were injured. Oleksiy Nehubov, the head of Kharkiv Regional Administration, reported on October 1 that in Kupiansky district of Kharkiv region, the Russian army shot a column of cars. The attack on civilians was carried out by a sabotage and reconnaissance group of the occupiers. They shot 6 cars and a truck at close range with small arms, the Security Service of Ukraine reported. According to updated information from the Security Service of Ukraine, 24 people were killed as a result of Russian shelling of an evacuation column near the village of Kurilivka. Among the dead are 13 children and pregnant women. Vladislav Abdullah, the spokesman of the Ukrainian Security Service of Kharkiv region, told Suspilne. 2 cars burned completely. There were children with their parents in them. They burned alive. The prosecutor's office of the Kharkiv region reported. The evacuation column was shot on September 25, the prosecutor's office clarified. On the night of October 1, the armed forces of the Russian Federation once again shelled the territory of Mykolaiv. The Regional Military Administration reported that one of the shells hit a residential building. Residential buildings were damaged in another part of the city. According to the State Emergency Service, the girl's body was recovered from under the debris. Search and rescue operations have been completed. As a result of the shelling, 5 people were injured, including 2 children. Also, as a result of shelling, a warehouse and buildings on the territory of the motor vehicle enterprise were damaged. According to the information of Mr. Sienkiewicz, the mayor, it is known that the building was hit by a S-300 missile. Mykolaiv Regional Military Administration reported that on the night of October 2, the Russian armed forces once again shelled Mykolaiv. The army of the Russian Federation used S-300 anti-aircraft missile systems to attack the city. Hits were recorded near residential buildings. As a result of the shelling, some are injured. According to the State Emergency Service, 2 apartments in one of the buildings caught fire as a result of the shelling. The fires were extinguished at 4:35 a.m. on an area of 5 square meters and 20 square meters, respectively. It is known that at least 7 people were injured as a result of the night shelling. According to the information of Alexander Sienkiewicz, the mayor, 4 apartment buildings were damaged, a transformer substation, power grids and a gas pipeline were also destroyed. Part of the houses were left without electricity and gas, the mayor said. The explosions in the city sounded approximately at 3:45 a.m. Hits were also recorded near the territory of one of the hospitals. Its windows were broken by the shockwave and debris. In addition, on the night of October 2, the armed forces of the Russian Federation attacked Mykolaiv region with 7 kamikaze drones. The Public Relations Service of the Southern Air Command reported that 5 of them were destroyed by units of the armed forces of Ukraine. Valentin Reznichenko, the head of the Regional Military Administration, announced that on the night of October 1, the Russian army shelled Nikopolsky and Sinelnikivsky districts of Dnipropetrovsk region. According to him, Nikopolsky district was hit 5 times with BM-21 and heavy artillery. Private houses, farm buildings, a cafe and a hotel were damaged in the city. Also, more than 1,000 families were left without electricity. On the night of October 2, Russian troops attacked Nikopolsky district from BM-27 and BM-21, and in Kryvyi Rih they hit the Lyceum with a kamikaze drone, Mr. Reznichenko said. According to him, as a result of shelling in Nikopol, private houses, farm buildings and power lines were damaged. There are no casualties or injuries. On the night of October 3, Russian troops shelled Nikopolsky and Kryvyi districts from BM-21 and heavy artillery, Valentin Reznichenko reported. According to him, high-rise and private buildings, a solar station and power grids were damaged. In particular, almost 1,000 families were left without electricity in Mirove Hromada of Nikopolsky district. There are no dead or injured. Also, on the morning of October 3, the Russian army launched a missile attack on Dnipropetrovsk district, Mr. Reznichenko notes.